Baba.
Jai Baba. So today, Baba, I've got a couple of questions from the Baba Talk listeners, the Baba lovers. So maybe we'll keep question answer small segments. So the first question is basically about the avatarhood. So how many avatars have been there since the creation of the universe? Who are they, and how those avatarhood came to place? And I think you have written during your lifetime that there's a connection between the Sadgurus and the avatar. Sadgurus will have to come first to so-called download the soul of the avatar into a human body. So there are many questions like, then is the Sadgurus came first or the avatars came first? So there are various questions. If you could answer a general overview of the avatarhood, please.
Baba saying ever since creation there has been numerous avatarhoods that has happened. And for every age and era there has been a representative representation in the universe. We know it is that ancient soul that we always talk about, which the entire creation came into being. And as per the time, that era, the need, there have been smaller avatarhoods and there have been big avatarhoods. At a larger scale and at the universal perspective, we speak about the larger avatarhoods just with couple of names, as we all know. We talk about Lord Krishna, we talk about Buddha, Muhammad, right? Because they also represent religions.
Right.
So for every religion there is a representation that happens. But in saying that, the smaller avatarhoods is what we talk about, the gods and the demigods, right? We talk about saints. We talk about very very realized souls who are like gurus, Then we also know, and we relate, or we speak, or we know about certain prophets, certain saints, right? And also we know about certain lineages that keep getting carried on. But they come, they represent, or they come as even family. Like, of course, in the Asian world, in India, we say like our kul guru, or a kul devta, or a
Family.
kul devi. Yeah, so that is like a demigod, or like or like
Family
a
gurus.
goddess representation, yes, who takes care of the cult and or takes care of the clan, right? So we can't put names because they are umpteen names, and of course it's not at all relevant to drop names because they are countless. But if you want to understand what avatarhood is, then they are great saints. I would say even Mother Teresa as a saint is a mini avatarhood. So avatarhood is not about just glorifying, or putting it under a magnifying glass and saying that this is the only representation in the universe. Even as of now, as we speak, there are many avatars existing, but their roles, duties, and responsibilities are very different from the actual ancient one that comes age after age when it is required to come. And rightfully, because it comes sans sanaskaric impressions, the soul is downloaded, right? So the soul has to come through the normal process in the family and the birth that happens. So it comes, as rightfully I have explained, with a veil. But then even that soul has to have protection, it has to have that immunity, correct? Because it is existing, it coexists with Maya and illusion. And that Maya and illusion is also a creation of avatarhood, which comes together. It is required to come together, right? Because that in that avatarhood, the avatar plays with Maya and illusion for the good, and not the so good, or for representation, and also for delivering change, right? And that change can only happen when the two come together, the two forces come together as a magnet. So they come together as a magnet, then again the magnet forces are taken away, right? So in saying that, yes, that immunity, that representation, that protection has to come come as sadgurus, or protection that comes around that avatarhood. And we can only talk, as I've explained, that when you know about that avatarhood, only then you will be revealed about the gurus that come with the avatar
For the protection
for
of
the
the
protection of that soul, for
of
that
the avataric soul.
avataric soul. Yes, correct, right. So they come and they exist much before, because as is they are continuing their job, right? They've come with their role and duties to be performed, and they are continuing to they continue to do that. But in that process, there is a readiness for giving that immunity to the avataric soul, which is going to come in that age. So does that answer your question?
Yeah. So the first avatar, when he descended in this earth, if he is the first realized soul, then obviously the Sadgurus are realized later. So how did the protection come from the Sadguru for the first avatar?
Okay, so it's like saying when you make a road plan, a road map, what do you do? Or you're strategizing something, right? You have a road map for it, isn't it? If you're working on a project, isn't it?
Yes,
You
there's
work on a project with different
plan.
plan and parameters and scope, so on and so forth, correct? Likewise, even if it is that very first ancient Manu, or that soul that came, it came with a plan. So it was already existing. When we talk about volcano eruptions, and we talk about nature upheavals, right? And we talk about the merging of the land and the sea, and then we talk about islands being formed and islands being destroyed, right? And then we talk everything to do with how universe was created. That soul, that one soul that existed already, it already had that blueprint plan to come with.
So,
You understanding what I'm saying?
no, my question was that obviously I understand that he comes with a plan, but the connection with the Sadguru is not explained. So, did the
So
Sadgurus
at
come
that
before?
point in time, the Sadguru's role was not with humans.
Okay.
There were no humans, right? Right. Creation was happening. So for creation to happen and for those forces to get downloaded, there was a team. And it was an offshoot of that soul. It was an offshoot of that avataric soul. Understood?
Yes.
So it's like if you're going to have 10 children, they are an offshoot of your DNA, right?
Right.
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 Likewise, that soul, that ancient soul, or that Manu, or whatever you call it, right? That soul, just to put it in
Simple language.
simple language, it was a reproduction that it did, right?
Multiplicity or duplication.
Yes, correct. It was a duplication, but duplication with certain roles and responsibilities to help with the creation of the universe.
And they were not born,
No, not at all.
therefore
Not at
they
all.
worked from the cosmic plane.
Correct. There was no human form at that point in time. There was no flora, no fauna, no animal kingdom, no fish, nothing. That was all creation. That was all being reproduced. It was at a production state, mass production.
Correct.
And of course, that avataric soul is infinite, and it started creating infinitely. Whatever it thought of and imagined, and it is still happening. It is still happening, because if you see, when there is so much of scientific research that's happening, or you hear of people are involved with finding out what is deep down into the bed of the sea, they are still finding new species.
Right.
It's not that those species existed. They may have existed, but they are still being reproduced, and they are being created as per the need of the era. Right. There's so much that has gone extinct, right? We know the dinosaurs have gone extinct. We know there's so much it's gone. It's not required, right? I can't say in an urban world today dinosaurs can stay side by side and exist with humans. That's not possible. So they had to go extinct. But in saying that, their DNA has been reproduced, has been recreated with smaller species, right? Or for the need of the environmental protection. And then they go and find they're doing that. So they're finding new species, they are finding new creation that is happening all the time.
So the creator, the Adi Purusha, the Adi ancient soul is continuously creating even now.
Continuously creating, yes.
So to answer the question of the avatarhood, the first avatar obviously planned from the cosmic plane, and in the cosmic plane he also had duplicated himself into so-called Sadgurus and worked together for the protection of the first ancient soul to come and descend as an avatar.
Correct. And there was no need to duplicate or replicate. So there was only one planet that was created, as we know, say Earth. Right? So there is life on other planets too. But the entire journey to come and go, death, life and death, born, rebirth, born, karmic cycle, everything that was put as a plan just on one planet.
That is the planet Earth.
Planet Earth, yeah, Mother Earth, yes.
So what you're saying, there is innumerable small avatarhood, but then the major ones who are associated with religion
Correct.
are basically known to us. So who was the first major one? Because I know Zarathustra is the first one out of the formal religion, but I'm sure there were before Zarathustra also there were major avatarhood. So
it really doesn't matter to have a name. I have said this in the past.
Okay.
There is absolutely no need, because there are countless names, right? And you must understand that even when you are working with a medium, there is limitations. So there is no need to go down into names.
Okay.
If you really want to know the most ancient name, please relate it to Meher Baba.
Okay.
If you know me, as your existing God, in a body, and if you want to know what God looks like, then you have a representation which is called Meher Baba. Okay. So is it really required to go back in the past? It's not. Because we ourselves have wiped memories of the past. And there is a reason for that. Isn't it?
Correct.
Now if I tell you, as you keep saying, there are 1 crore goddesses and demigods in India, you yourself don't know those names. Suddenly you will hear about some Kul Devi, a name that you've never heard of, right?
Those are smaller gods, but with bigger ones, like there are 10 avatars, 10 avatars in the Hindu ancient scripture, and they say those 10 avatar ends with the Kalki avatar, which is the Kali Yug's avatar who's come.
So we really don't know when that Kali Yuga will happen, correct?
No, we know we are in Kali Yuga. But
I'm talking about the termination of the Kali Yuga. We are in Kali Yuga.
Correct.
We don't know. It could be 5,000 years from now. As per Earth, in the astral world, there is no years. I have explained that, right?
Yeah.
So it can happen now. It can happen 5,000 years from now, or it may not happen. There might be just improvisation that would happen.
You're right.
Correct.
So you are saying it's not very significant.
No, it is not. It is not at all significant.
The fact is that it's the same avatar in different
Correct.
disguise.
So we are all at the universal level, we hear of very couple of names, right? We hear of Buddha, we hear of Christ, we hear of Muhammad, Krishna, right? So we hear only of those big names which are again related to religion. And these are the major religions. Isn't it? Anything else would be an offshoot of that religion.
Correct.
Baha'i would be an offshoot because it's a cult religion. Correct? So and that's what everybody speaks about and everybody knows about. Right?
Correct.
In the Western world, we only speak about one avatar, which is Christ. Isn't it?
Correct.
And we talk about everything else that goes with this, which is an offshoot of Christ.
So to summarize the question on avatar, what I'm understanding is it's the same ancient soul which kept coming before creation, during creation, and at the current age.
And still existing.
And
correct.
Still existing.
And will exist.
And you are asking us to remember only one name, which is Avatar Meher Baba.
Correct, because I have revealed myself to a chosen few for a reason. So then that is the avatarhood that you know about.
Right.
And there are great perfect masters who are just short of being an avatar. And one fine day they will merge with that energy of that avatar.
Right.
But they are the great representations which are already have existed and they still exist. Because they are doing that universal work.
So at any point of time, there are 5 perfect masters in this earth, even when the avatar is not there.
Correct.
So are there 5 perfect masters now also? 2021?
Not really, because Avatarhood will come back after 700 years. They are, as I said, they are short of avataric representation. So they run the universe. Right? Whether they are in body or they are not in body, they run the universe. As I've explained, Sai Baba is and will continue to run the universe. Now, if this representation of Sai Baba's soul, say, is in Berlin, we don't know about it, right? Or you also don't know. No, nobody knows that. It's not required to be known. That soul, which probably has taken birth in Berlin, I'm not saying it's Berlin, I'm just giving you an example. I'm just saying Berlin, for example, Germany, correct? It's doing its job there, maybe incognito, nobody knows. But it's required to be there, probably. Right?
Right.
Like Sai Baba was in charge of the world war, the entire world war, isn't it? But people in the Western world, nobody knew there was somebody called Sai Baba who was already in a body at that point in time. Right? So the working of the Avatarhood is very complex. But to put it straight, it will only be for all of you, it's 700 years. That 700 years could be 7 days from now. Right?
Right.
And if there is an avatar coming back, there will definitely be 5 perfect masters to download that energy.
So as of today, there may not be 5 perfect masters in Earth, but there are 5 perfect masters working between Earth and the cosmic
To
planes.
run the universe, correct.
So they're running either from cosmic plane or from the,
Correct.
or they're download, or
Correct.
they're present in this. So how many are there?
So now, if we talk about, say, Tibet, right? We know Tibet is a Buddhist country. Who is their perfect master existing today and protecting?
Dalai Lama.
His Holiness. His Holiness is a complete 100% representation of a perfect master running the universe
For Tibetans.
and the world at large. It's not just Tibetans.
Okay.
Right? His Holiness had to move out from there for a reason. And he's loved, revered by everybody in the world. Isn't that true? Isn't it?
Correct.
So how privileged it is to have known or even be connected to a perfect master like that who exists as of today. Isn't that so true?
Correct.
And you've been very fortunate to have had that connect. He's a 100% perfect master representation of running the universe.
Right.
If you're asking me how it runs, then yes, the representation of Buddhism and running the universe at large, just short of how Sai Baba ran the universe.
My God, we didn't know that.
Absolutely.
He's such a powerful
Absolutely.
Sadguru.
A very, very realized Sadguru, and for a reason. So even great Sadgurus who come, look, they also, if you read of any Sadguru, they have a lot of penance to do. They themselves in their life journey in human form go through a lot of angst. Correct?
Correct.
Even with Sai Baba or other representations of perfect masters in my time,
They go through challenges.
they go through a lot of challenges. Isn't His Holiness gone through his own challenge?
Yes.
He had to move away from there for a larger representation to the world, to the universe. Isn't it? Otherwise, you tell me how he would be so loved and revered
Worldwide.
and traveled the length and breadth of the world.
Yeah, if he remained in Tibet, obviously he would have
Correct.
only known by the Tibetans
Correct.
and a small group of followers.
Yes.
But because he moved out through the challenges, obviously he's
Correct.
known
And he's
worldwide.
and he's doing his universal work. He's also, for him, his challenge and for him to feel that that he is not in his own country. He had to move away from his own country, but he considers being where he is, like in India, as the ultimate protection that he got, and so indebted. And he always refers back. If you listen to him, he continuously refers back to our scriptures. and says that the Buddhist scriptures that are followed or studied or in Tibet comes from the Nalanda University, from the oldest university or the scriptures.
In India.
Yeah.
So do you work with him, Baba?
110%. I do.
So if we ask,
So if you're talking about, say, one perfect master and who exists and everybody knows and I work closely, would be His Holiness.
So if we ask His Holiness, do you know Meher Baba? Will he say Meher Baba, or will he put some other name?
I cannot answer that question. It's up to him.
But does he know you as a Meher Baba?
Of course he knows.
As Meher Baba, he knows.
Of course, but maybe he doesn't have to talk about me, right? Because he has his own role and responsibility, isn't it?
Okay.
But he certainly is a perfect master representation of running the universe. I do not want to say anything more. But I was saying I really do not want to say anything more. But when His Holiness drops his body, there will be a change.
What kind of change?
There will be a lot of change in the universe. There will be a lot of change.
And do you know when he's going to drop his body? No.
Look, great masters can drop their body when they want to do it. Right? They don't wait for a day to come to them. The day they decide their karmic cycle must end without any karmic impression, they will drop their body. So if you hear His Holiness say, I will live for that long, right? It's not that maybe he will live for, say, 110 years. That may not be possible. But what he means that he will cover what he will have to do up to the age of 110 till the time he will be in his body. So it's a very different representation of avataric power.
So will Tibet be free before he drops his body?
Baba saying there may be a possibility of Tibet being free just before that, or with the change that will come thereafter.
Thank you, Baba. So is there any other second example present in this world now, Sadhguru?
There are a lot of Sadhgurus, but they are very incognito, as I said.
Just give one example from the, say, Western world.
No, Baba saying.
No means you don't want to reveal, or there are none?
No, there are none.
So is there a second Sadhguru at all in the world now?
He's not answering. No, Baba saying it's not really important to know, but I've given you a perspective how at the larger scale, if you really want to know worldwide, then I've already given you. I've told you.
Okay, how a Sadhguru works in the modern day.
Correct.
Is an example that you gave.
And if there was, the world would know about it, isn't it? Isn't that true? The world would definitely know about it.
So which means because we don't know any other personality like His Holiness, can we assume that there are no second Sadhguru currently?
There are Sadhgurus in the making, which will be revealed in time, right? But no, not as of now.
Okay. Thank you, Baba. So can you summarize now your overall overview of Avatar and Avatarhood? Just to summarize.
So every time there is a big Avatarhood that comes, right? That Avatarhood comes with, it makes a blueprint before it comes, right? So there is a whole plan that is chalked out on how, why it is coming, in what era it's going to come, it will come, that soul will come, and which souls will come along with it, right? So that blueprint is always being tweaked till the avataric hood actually happens. So when I also say that many of my loved ones will be part of my avataric hood, it means that everybody will have a role to perform as my near and dear one with me in that avataric hood.
And they will be chosen from the current Baba lovers, current and past Baba lovers.
Current and Baba souls, yes.
How many of them will be coming with you?
I was saying I don't know what will be the need of the era at that point in time. But Baba says at any point in time you have about 125 to 126 in the circle. And of course then offshoots from there, you know.
So when you say in the circle, what do you mean by the circle?
The inner circle and the outer circle. So when Jesus Christ had an inner circle, right? And then he also had an outer circle.
So can you explain that a little bit more, the circle?
No, so Baba saying it's already in my books, you can read it. But it really doesn't matter because how it will pan out 700 years from now, even I don't know.
Okay.
Because it's always changing.
Right.
Isn't it?
Right. And there is no proportion or ratio of men and women?
No.
So it could be any proportion based on the need?
Yes.
Okay. What are the chances that some of us will be in that inner circle of 125 to 126?
Hold on to my daman. You see, when the baton is given to you and you're doing a relay, eventually you have to reach the last person and hand over the baton, right? Who will win the race. So it is the same thing. When I say hold on to my daman, it's like if you have many births till I come back, right? How you are holding on to that baton every time and passing it on eventually. You're only getting better at it, right? First time you may practice, then you get a little better at it, then you run a little faster, then you strategize, how you want to win the race, right? So till the time we all come back together, there may be many births where you will be continuously improvising. Isn't that true?
Correct. So only at the end you will know who won the race and who are the 125 or 126.
Even if you don't win the race, you might still qualify.
And that will be qualification by the grace of
your Guru, yes.
So with that note,
on that note, Baba Singh, we can end this conversation and always start fresh another time. And there be peace with all of you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.